Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be doing some 2016 makeup versus 2021 makeup. So half of my face is going to be with all 2016 makeup trends, and then the other half of my face is going to be with all 2020/2021 makeup trends. This is actually really interesting because I do a little bit of both, and I'm excited to kind of share with you guys things that I still do now that I used to do back in the day, or maybe things that I never used to do then that I do now. It's all really meant to be fun. These are just trends. Obviously, you don't have to follow them. Do whatever works for you and whatever you like. I always say there's no rules to makeup, so if you still do your makeup like back in the day, like from 2016, that's totally fine. I actually still do a lot of things that maybe might not be super popular right now, but make me feel good whenever I do my makeup. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you grab a snack and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and hit the bell, that way you're notified every single time I upload. And let's get into some 2016 versus 2021 makeup. Okay, so we are starting off with brows, which is going to be very interesting because I technically still do my brows like in the 2016 way, with a brow pomade, cleaning up the brows. That's always how I do them. But we're gonna do some soap brows today on this side because that's what's trendy. I'm just gonna use my spoolie from my NYX micro brow pencil, and I'm just gonna start by brushing my hairs upwards. And then I'm gonna use the Anastasia Brow Freeze. I actually was practicing before I started filming because I wasn't sure how to even use this product, but I'm just gonna use the spoolie from the NYX micro brow pencil. I'm just gonna run the spoolie through my brow hairs and kind of just fluff them up. Let me know your thoughts on soap brows. I feel like either you love them or you hate them. So I've seen people kind of fluff them up like this, and then they'll kind of brush out the tips a little bit of the top of the brow hairs to make them look a little bit more seamless. So I don't have a little kind of like brow flick product. Actually, I might, hold on. Okay, just kidding. I thought that I did, but I don't. So I'm just gonna use my NYX micro brow pencil. And what I'm gonna do is kind of just fill in my brows a little bit, kind of just flick the product upwards, just to add a little bit of something to my brows. I'm just gonna also kind of outline the bottom of my brows as well. Wow, this is definitely different for me. Now on the other side, complete opposite. This is still personally how I like to do my brows. So I like to outline and then fill them in with a pomade. And when I outline, I pretty much go with the natural shape of my brows. I have had so many bad brow years. Like, I feel like my brows didn't start looking decent until like 2020. Like, for real, my brows have been a hot mess. So I'm just using my NYX Tjmaxx frame. So different, right? Crazy. Okay, now this is the fun part. So I'm gonna clean up the brows, which I feel like if you do the feather brows, from what I've seen at least, most people don't clean up their brows, or if they do, they just do it on the bottom and just like a little tiny bit. But this is definitely something that everybody, I feel like, or most people used to do back in like 2015, 2016. I personally love doing it. So I start from the bottom usually, and then I also do the top. This is when it looks crazy, but you have to blend it out. And then I go back in with my brush, and I kind of like spoolie through the product and everything just to make sure everything, like I said, looks super seamless. Okay, now for eyeshadow, I'm gonna use the same palette for both sides. So I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay Born to Run. This is one of my favorite high-end palettes. Great quality eyeshadows, and I love the variety in here, so I'm gonna use this today. Starting off with the 2021 side, what I'm gonna do is just a little bit of winged liner using eyeshadow. This is one of my favorite techniques to do because it's very soft and pretty. It's super easy to do. So to do this, I'm gonna use the color Punk and Good Is Gone. And I normally use my e.l.f. eye tapes, and I have no idea where I put them. No clue, but they are definitely great for this technique. They're one of my favorite things ever from e.l.f. But for today, I'm just gonna use some Scotch tape because we're improvising. So I'm gonna use a little angled brush, and basically with this, you just follow along the tape and you just do a little wing. It's so easy. And if you mess up, it's a lot easier to clean up versus liner, which is nice. And then once you remove the tape, that's why the e.l.f. tapes, I like them better because they don't pull and tug at your skin, but you can see you get a nice little sharp wing. So the tape method works every single time. So on the other side now, we're gonna do some smoky eyes, of course. I'm gonna start off with the color Riff. Then I'm gonna go into Baja, which is a beautiful orange. Then I'm gonna take the color Hell Ride. These kind of colors used to be my favorite. You guys remember the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette? That was one of my all-time favorites. I actually still have that palette in my collection, but I really feel like that was like the prime time for ABH, like 2015, 2016. Like that's all that I wanted in my collection. I actually love a good smoky eye. I feel like it really depends on what I'm wearing or where I'm going or the kind of mood that I'm in, because most days whenever I just want quick makeup, I do like my 10-minute makeup routine that I love, and I don't really wear a lot of eyeshadow, but I love a good smoky eye. Then I'm gonna go into the color Blaze, and I'm gonna spray my brush. So to really emphasize the eyeshadow and the lid shade, I'm just gonna go in with some liquid glitter. This one is from e.l.f. It's in Flirty Birdie. It's just like a pretty kind of rose gold. And this for me, again, is something that I still like to do with my looks. I think it's really fun and it just adds a little extra pop, which I love. So I'm gonna just use this little angled brush. This one is from Amazon. And I'm just gonna take that glitter. This is kind of hard to do while talking, so hold on. Just like that. I love these kinds of looks. I really do. These will forever be trendy to me. So now we gotta do some thick winged liner, and I'm gonna use the NYX Epic Ink liner. Okay, I made this thick, but not as thick as back in 2016. My liner was crazy back then. I don't know who let me walk out of the house like that, but it was a hot mess. Okay, I'm gonna just do a quick coat of mascara. I'm gonna use the ColourPop Act Natural. This is my current favorite, and this one's just in brown. I am gonna go in with lashes, of course. I'm just gonna coat my lashes just so everything blends in. Okay, for the natural / 2021 side, I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Creations lashes in the style Confidential. These are a very pretty, just everyday lash. They're not super long, they have a little bit of volume to them, but they're very pretty. And on the other side, I'm gonna go in with the Eye Envy 3D lashes. These are in Chic 3D number 13. Okay, so while we wait for the lash glue to dry, I'm just gonna prep my skin. I'm gonna use the Milani SPF 30 primer. I'm just gonna do this on both sides because the foundation's gonna be different. That's like the main thing. I just want to give myself a good extra layer of moisture, and this has SPF in it, which is a plus. It also makes your makeup last. I just talked about this in my current favorites, but honestly it doesn't really matter today because I'm gonna wipe this off when I'm done. This primer is so good. I love it though. It's amazing, and it blends really easily. No white cast. Okay, let's pop on the lash. These lashes are also super affordable. If you guys go on Beauty Creations website, they have tons for like under $10, and they're so pretty. You know we have to do a dramatic lash on the other side, which I still wear dramatic lashes like this to this day. Okay, now for foundation. This is exciting. So on this side, I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. You guys know these are all that's hot right now. Every single brand I feel like is coming out with like a skin tint or like something more natural for the face. So I will be honest, way back when I was all about the full coverage, and like I did not want to put anything on my face that wasn't full coverage or like medium to full coverage. But I would say within the past like year or so, like 2020, I don't mind something that has a little bit kind of less coverage, but that still covers up something, you know what I mean? Like I don't want something that's completely natural. Like I want something that, okay, feels really lightweight, looks like skin, but that still actually covers up and evens out my skin tone a little bit, because I feel like if I'm gonna go through the trouble of putting on makeup, I want it to, you know, still look like skin, but actually cover something up, you know what I mean? There are definitely some of them out there that give you amazing coverage, like this one from Urban Decay is really good. So now for the other side, we're gonna go in with some full coverage foundation, of course. And I'm gonna use the LA Girls Truly Matte Foundation. I have my other bottle right here, which doesn't look very pretty, so I'm gonna show you that one. But this is actually one of my favorite foundations, and I'm gonna use the color Soft Beige. This definitely does have a matte finish though. I feel like lately I definitely stray away from matte foundations because I think glowy ones look better on my skin personally, but I feel like you could definitely get away with using a matte foundation. It just comes down to how you prep your skin. So that's usually the case with matte foundations. If I use them now these days, I always prep my skin and make sure I use something super hydrating and dewy underneath. This foundation is great though for the price. I think it's like $5 or $6. You can get it at Dollar General. Five Below has it. Has great coverage. Again, it probably looks a little bit more dewy on my skin right now because I did prep my skin with that Milani primer. It definitely has a matte finish. It lasts all day though, and this is a great foundation for this summertime for sure if you have oily skin. I'm just gonna use the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer because it has really great coverage, and I have this one in Buff Beige. So these days, we're just doing a little bit of concealer. And I'm gonna do one eye at a time because this concealer does dry pretty quick. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Camo Sponge. I have to say, I definitely don't apply as much concealer as I used to, but I have my days. I have to admit, like, sometimes I use way too much. And then on the other side, we're gonna do the very famous triangle. Let me know down below if you guys still do your concealer like this, because honestly I still did my concealer like this up until like not too long ago, to be honest. And I'm gonna use the other side of the camo sponge. Okay, this side looks really good, to be honest. Like the full coverage, like I'm here for it. Okay, let's do a little cream bronzer. So I started using cream bronzer like consistently, I would say like the beginning of last year, and I love the look of it. I think it makes your skin look really fresh, dewy, healthy, and it also makes your powder products last longer. So if you go in with a cream bronzer and then a powder bronzer over top, it will definitely last much longer versus just going in with like, let's say a powder bronzer. So on this side, I'm gonna go in with the Half Caked Cheek and Lip Tint in You're So Last Summer. So these days, I don't really contour, honestly. I just like to keep it really effortless and kind of natural and just bronze the skin. I do a little bit usually around the perimeter of my face, and that is it. That's usually all that I do. And then on the other side, we're gonna do some more intense contour. This was like so popular back then. Who were we? And I forgot to tell you what I used. I used the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. I have this one in C13. I love this concealer for doing this because it is so creamy. Back then, I used to use a lot of stick foundations, which I like to use. But what I like to do now, instead of like kind of painting on my face, I like to apply the product usually on the back of my hand and then take my brush, dip in there, and then go in and blend out the bronzer or whatever on my face. And I'm just gonna kind of blend this out a little bit with a clean sponge. For powder, I'm gonna go in with the Collab Set the Stage Soft Focus Translucent Setting Powder. This is such a good powder. I love the Black Cap one too. This one is just as good. I feel like this one has a little bit more of like a yellowy tint. And then I'm just gonna use a little bit of that powder on a powder brush just to set the rest of the makeup. All right, now the other side, we're gonna bake. As far as baking, I was never a huge fan of it because I always felt like it made my under eyes look more dry than what they already are. And I always felt like it accentuated my fine lines, but I always did apply a lot of powder like this. I just wiped it off pretty quickly. Okay, I had to whip this out, the Anastasia Contour Kit. This was like one of my all-time favorite palettes, and I feel like everybody on YouTube used to use this palette way back when, but I'm gonna use it on both sides. I'm just gonna go a little bit harder on this side, but I will say I love bronzer. I still use a ton of bronzer to this day, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. I feel like blush has like recently replaced bronzer. I like both. I feel like no matter what kind of look I'm doing, I need some good bronzer. So I'm gonna use this on this side. I'm just gonna go over where I did the cream. All right, now bronzer on the other side, we're gonna go hard. I'm gonna do a lot. I feel like bronzer and highlighter was like it back in 2016, especially the highlighter, which we'll do in a minute. Now for blush, I'm actually gonna skip out on blush on the 2016 side. Even though I used to use it back then, I feel like it wasn't as trendy as it is now. So I'm gonna add a little cream blush on this side. And I know I already set my makeup, but these Believe Beauty Color Me cream blushes work really well on top of powders. If you do wanna add a little cream over top of it, this one is in Dollface. It's a really pretty everyday pink. You can get these at Dollar General, and you guys, like, look at that blush. It's so pretty. And then to set that cream blush, I'm gonna use the Lunar Beauty blush palette. I'm just gonna kind of blend this out. And then for highlighter, I'm gonna use the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in the shade number 10, Be My Highlight. This is such a beautiful natural highlighter. I talk about this all the time on my channel. If you wanna just glow from within and you want something very subtle for every day, this is it, and it's $5. It is so good. Just gives you the prettiest, softest glow. Then on the other side, I have to pull out the Anastasia Glow Kit. So I'm gonna go in with the Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit. And let's go in with 143 in Glow Getter. By the way, I love Nicole Guerrero. She is one of my favorites, and she will forever be one of my favorites. I started watching her like probably 10 years ago. Ooh, these to put this on aggressively. I do love this glow kit because you can definitely tone it down, and you can use these as inner corner highlights, as eyeshadows. So it's definitely a good palette. It's intense though, so clearly less is more. Okay, let's do lips. So I'm gonna do on this side just lip liner and lip gloss, which is what I've been wearing non-stop lately. I'm gonna use the NYX Suede Matte Lip Pencil in London, my little tiny lip pencil. So I'm gonna line my lips and then fill them in. And then I'm gonna do some gloss. This is the Essence Wet Look Lip Gloss in Behind the Scenes, which is just very clear. And then on the other side, I'm gonna go in, I look so funny right now, I'm like looking at myself like, okay. I'm gonna use the Ofra Liquid Lipstick, and this one is in Dubai. Ooh, that is nude. Okay, that's a lot more nude than what I remember. Okay, let's do this color in Bel Air. There we go, it's a little bit more pink. So I actually love liquid lipsticks still to this day. I feel like a lot of people don't use them anymore, but I personally love them. I've been loving the Dose of Colors ones. These are great. They come in beautiful colors. I feel like for the price, you're getting such a good high quality liquid lipstick. So I do love Ofra as well. I also love Smashbox. Let's finish up the eyes and then we'll be all done. So on the natural side, I usually do like a nude or like a brown or black liner. It really depends. But today I'll use a nude. I'm gonna use the ColourPop BFF Cream Gel Liner in Honey Dude. And then on the other side, I'm gonna use the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil. This one is in Black Love. Now we gotta blend that out, make it nice and smoky. I'm gonna go in with the color Hellride. I'm also gonna take a little bit of Baja. Okay, but like I'm really loving the 2016 side. This like look is so smoky and I'm here for it. The skin looks really good too. Ooh, all right, I'm living. I honestly love both sides, to be honest. Okay, so I am just gonna coat my lower lashes with mascara. And I'm just gonna use the Anastasia Glow Kit again for the inner corner highlight. Actually, for both sides, I'm just gonna use this color Forever Lit. So I love a really bright inner corner highlight. I always have. I'm gonna do this eye first. And then I blend it out with a fluffier brush. And then we're gonna hit the brow bone too, because I really don't do a ton of brow bone highlighting anymore, but with this look, it's a must. All right, now we're gonna set the makeup and we will be on our way. I'm gonna use the Milani Make It Last, which is my favorite drugstore setting spray. This is the extra large bottle. You can get it at Super Walmart, and they also have it online. So here we have it, 2016 makeup versus 2021. I am curious to hear your thoughts down below on what your favorite trends are, least favorite trends. Personally, I love both sides of the spectrum. It really depends on the occasion, what I'm wearing, and what my mood is. That's usually what determines how my makeup's gonna look. So the 2021 side for me is definitely like my comfort zone. Whenever I just wanna keep it very simple or I don't have a lot of time, this is the kind of makeup look that I do where I feel the most comfortable. The 2016 side is definitely very glam. This is the kind of makeup I do whenever I have like all day to get ready. I want to be extra and I want to be full coverage, full beat. This is the look that I do. There's certain things that I don't do that I used to do back then, like for instance the thick winged liner, the pomade brows, a lot of bronzer, a good matte liquid lipstick I love, and I love a good smoky eye. So the 2016 side for me is definitely still here to stay for me. I love it, and I also love the 2021 side because it's very practical, it's easy to do, and I'm not mad about these soap brows. I definitely think I need to practice a little bit more and also like fill them in a little bit more to make them darker to match my hair, but I like the way they look. So that is officially it for this video. Again, this is totally just for fun. If you guys still do your makeup in ways that might not be trendy right now, keep doing it. Do whatever works for you, whatever makes you feel more beautiful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.